Hey everybody, this is the morning of October 28th, and it is the 28th video of my 31 Days of Halloween series. It is also my daughter's birthday, her 40th birthday. So I haven't talked with her for a while, so today I get to call her and wish her a happy birthday. Should be a fun conversation if she's not too busy, I guess. So, to bide my time, to give her that call, I'm going to do today's video. And as you can see, there are some marks in the ears, the inside of the ears. The cat has pupils here. Well, then the whites of the eyes. It's got a little white or a little dot there on the nose and some teeth. And then of course the claws, whiskers. So what I plan on doing is the whiskers I'm going to do in the silver white. The eyes themselves, I'm going to go ahead and do this blue. No, I was going to do it the other way. I was going to do the eyes themselves in green. Or no, hold on. Wow, it's really morning, isn't it? And no, I don't wake up with a cup of coffee because I am caffeine free due to my rapid heart rate that I have as a norm. And so yes, I was taken off caffeine years ago. The cat's feet are down here. Well, one foot is here. So let me see. Let's put the silver white mica in the ears portion. I'm going to do the whiskers in it, the teeth in it, and the claws in it. And I think I'll do that pretty green for the pupils of the eyes and the blue for the rest of the eye. The silver white is also going to go for the dots, the pupils in the pumpkin's eyes. And purple is going to go into the rest of the eye. The pumpkin itself, of course, is going to go orange. And the back bill, the stem has to go green too. The back bill will be that pearlized black. Okay, so let's try to get a beginning in here. We're going to go with the lighter color first. I am using a paintbrush to do this so that I can get into these small little itty-bitty areas without getting too much everywhere. Whoops. Guess I'll have to clean that white out of the pumpkin there. I'll have to clean some more white out of the pumpkin. Yes, I know I should have it on the side I'm working. But today is one of those days for me. I am gearing up for tomorrow's live event. There will also be a video put out in the morning as usual, because I want to concentrate on the live being for questions and answers right off the bat. And then after that short little period, we're going to concentrate on ghost stories, because that's what Halloween tradition is, ghost stories. Set around a campfire usually, but, well, I've got about a few inches of snow outside right now, so I'm not going anywhere outside the house, and unfortunately I don't have a fireplace, so I can't, you know, supply that atmosphere. And my dog woke up and is tip-tapping. Go lay down. Go on. He did. He laid down in the hallway. Now, as soon as I get this portion done, I'll tap out the excess, and I'll do all cleanup after most of everything's in here. Okay, teethies. Claws. You're all probably laughing at me like, oh, look at that. She's getting all that mica all over the place where she doesn't want it. But I don't mind the cleanup, and of course you won't have to put up with that. I will do the cleanup off camera. According to the weather news, our area has tied with our record cold for today, which isn't bad. It's -1. And that's not saying a whole lot, because in our town, in our area, we've gotten to -50 at night and -20, 25 during the day. So, no, it doesn't bother us. There are those that don't like to work in the cold, of course. But we have a sugar factory here, and the flute, which is outside, It's got a lot of water. It's for washing the beets. And people, it's a 24-hour job, basically. They have different shifts, 3 shifts a day. They're rotational shifts so that nobody spends an inordinate amount all the time outside in the cold. And I know that it can get so cold that you would want to crawl inside yourself and never step back out again. The cold for me, it gets to me now because I'm a lot older now. And my health isn't all the best. But I still, if I need to, get out there. And like if my dogs are refusing to come in because, ooh, they're having a snow day, yes, I have to step out and I have to get them into the house. The older ones most especially, because at turning 13 in November, they are way too old to be out in that cold. Okay, the white is done. Brush it off real fast on there. Okay. Now let's do the green into the eyes. And the stem of the pumpkin. Of course, I will have to clean that out a little bit before I get to it. I know, does it make sense to have green pupils? Sure. It's Halloween. Oh, I forgot the little white dab. And the little tip of the nose there. And yes, this is the last of the series that I purchased that came, that you could get the pumpkin ones I did with the scarecrows. So there was another one that looked like an alien, and to me it had nothing to do with Halloween, so I didn't get it. I didn't like it. So yeah, this is what I consider to be the last of the Halloween molds of that series that they have. Okay, let's get the rest of that green in there. Alright. I'm half thinking about putting green in the mouth and the nose here. Nah. Yeah, I think so. Boy, am I decisive today. Well, gee, if the mica wanted to go that far, it could have just landed on the nose. Right? Help me out a little bit. Stay down. Cat's being a nuisance. Just means I have to go and pick up things that keeps getting knocked down. I do not have any valuable knickknacks in my house. I haven't had since, well, since forever. I've always had cats. I've always had dogs. Even as a child, we had cats and dogs. My mom used to raise parakeets. They were quite noisy. And I was always wanting to hold her one favorite parakeet. His name was Petey. And I was quite young at the time. So one day I opened his cage and tried to bring him out to hold him and love him up, and he bit me. Not knowing any better, I thought I should punish him for biting me, and I stuck him under a pillow. Needless to say, he didn't survive that, and I was afraid of what my mom would do when I figured out that the bird was dead. So I put him back in the cage and pretended I didn't know anything. And she found Petey dead, and it tore her up. That was her bird. And I was probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old when that happened. And to this very day, I regret what I had done. My mom was just so upset, and yes, I did own up to it. I told my mom I was very sorry, and what could I do to make it better? And of course, nothing could be done to make it better. And luckily, my mother understood children are children. And, you know, That was my first experience with death. And I was the one that caused it. That upset me so greatly. I do miss my mother. She's been gone since 2002. That was the year my granddaughter was born. And I miss my mother every single day. And if there were some things I could have ever redone in my life, it would have been in regards to my mother. She'd had a hard life. She raised us 3 girls, all almost pretty much by herself. My father was a really good for nothing POS. I never really knew him. And yes, I know others, if they don't like somebody, they'll give you all kinds of bad information and things like that to try to make them look really horrible. But truthfully, my father really was a horrible man. It wasn't just family that said bad things about him. It was neighbors that had been around at the times. And one of the most horrible things I'd ever heard in my life was when she didn't get his eggs cooked properly. So he picked up her Persian cat and, well, he did a bad, horrible thing, and the cat no longer had a head on its body. That was to teach her a lesson. And I know a lot of people might get upset about what I just said, but it's the truth that there are people on this planet that really shouldn't be on this planet. And somebody will probably report me for it. But, it is what it is. Report me. Do what you want to do. I face life as it is. It's just as it is. I mean, horrible things happen. It's how we deal with them that matters. So hearing some things like that, it makes me wonder how well the ghost stories is going to go if I get complaints. But I really, really believe that people, if you face the things, then it's not so bad. wish you all could tell me, since you could see in the monitor, well, through the camera anyway, how much I've missed and still need to clean out. And sorry, I have to drag this over here where I can see it for a minute, because I know that the silver went everywhere. And I am trying to clean as much as I can. Before I continue, and I know I said I was going to do this without you on camera, or without me on camera, so you didn't have to deal with the cleanup. So I'm going to go ahead and finish what cleanup I need to do real quick, and then continue. I'll be back. Okay, got as much as I could cleaned up. Now let's get the blue in real fast. I'll try not to get it everywhere. My dog is actually barking at snow, by the way. When he and his brother were little pups, my husband and I bought a lawn set, lawn patio set. Some chairs, a table, an umbrella. We set it up outside, and it got hilarious because my boys were put to the door to go to the bathroom, and they just wouldn't leave the doorway. They started barking and whimpering and crying, and all it was the new table and chairs that was in the yard, and we had to actually pick them up, take them outside, stand with them so that they knew we were guarding them, and they had to be, I swear, 50 feet away from, in order to feel comfortable in going to the bathroom. So that started that day. Then pretty much every inanimate object we ever put into the yard, up until the time maybe about 2 years ago, yeah, they barked at every little thing. And it was just so funny, it really was. Alright, got some blue in the wrong places. Always happens. Now the blue is done, it is time for the purple in the pumpkin's eyes, and I'm sure I'm going to get that everywhere too. I didn't want to do this one in too dark a color. because pretty much it's kind of a cutesy wootsy type of thing. So I kind of wanted to keep it just a little cutesy wootsy. And yes, it's been a little while since I was here doing this. I had to do a few other things. Pay some bills. All that adulting stuff. I actually like all the adulting stuff. And when my husband gets up in about an hour, I'm going to go send him off to go get me a mocha. Yes, a decaf mocha. And people think, oh my gosh, that's not coffee. Yes, it is. It just doesn't give me jitters or a racing heart. If I think it's coffee, it's coffee. And it's been a hard road. I'm going to give that credit where credit is due. It's been a hard road without the caffeine. I quit it actually just that day when the doctor said, well, unless you want to end up with that heart attack you almost had, you need to quit. By the way, I was, 45 years old then. So, yeah, I quit the caffeine. Gave it all up. Every once in a while, I do have a small amount of caffeine by drinking a Pepsi. I'm just kind of, addicted to Pepsi. I don't know why. Just one of those things, everybody. It's the one true crux I have when it comes to sugar and flavor. Gave up candy bars and everything like that. I do still get a piece of candy, and what my husband does is he picks me up a king-size candy bar, and then we cut it up into like quarter-inch pieces or eighth-inch pieces, something like that, very small. And I get to have one a day. So I try to choose to only have it at a certain time of the day, like if I need an extra pick-me-up. Which is usually about this time of the day, waiting for him to get up so that I can get breakfast. I don't know about any of you, but I have this horrible starvation problem in the mornings. I never used to. My biggest breakfast used to be a couple pieces of toast. Didn't really eat anything in the mornings. But as I've gotten older, it seems that's what I do. Of course, I got purple everywhere. See, even over here. And And of course I just wiped it out of the eye. Okay, a little bit more on this eye over here. Okay, why am I not able to get it out of that little crevice? There we go. I'll wipe some more of it off the top there. And then I will very cautiously reapply the purple before I get that orange down. Just a little bit on the tip here. Okay. Now the only thing left to do is the orange of the pumpkin. And I will still use the smaller brush, but I won't put you through all of that. I'll get a little bit on here and then I'll put you on pause. And then we'll get to mixing some resin. Alright, be right back. Okay, the resin is mixed. It does have bubbles because my room is cold, but I do have it on the heat mat to warm it. I'm going to go ahead and add the black pigment real quick. I do have a different stick for which to add it because you just never want to put resin in your pigments. Just like if you're using pigment paste, you never ever ever put your stick, if you've stirred your resin, back into your resin paste, because it will cause all kinds of issues. You don't know if it's part A or part B that the company used, and you don't know how much of each, or you don't know how much of which one is in it. So always use a separate stick or a spoon to mix your resins or your pigments into your resins. I've seen a lot of people do that double dip thing, and yeah, it's not a bad, it's not a good practice, put it that way. Break up this mica. Make sure there's no chunks that get in. And while I'm mixing that in, and it is the level I want it to be, as you can tell, to the side over here I have a casket prepared because I have about 1,000,000,000 black skulls. It seemed to be my go-to for dumping. So today I decided it was going to be a coffin. Yeah, get all this mixed in. It'll be perfect. And I've decided to add some black glitter. This is the fine glitter. And I'm going to add a fair amount because I want it really glittery. And of course, I'll always end up with glitter on me and everything else. And yes, you want to break up your glitter too. Scrape your stick a little bit. Get it down in there. It is 6 o'clock. A little after right now. 5 after. I hear my husband stirring, which means if he gets out the door right now, it will get loud with the dogs again. Because they'll be like, Dad's up, Dad's up. And I think I got it pretty well mixed in. I'm not seeing any more chunks now. Gonna scrape the bottom down here to make sure. Okay, we're ready to pour. Ooh, my hand hit the mouse. It was almost a bad thing. Now I'm going to move these both inwards this way. There was one of those bubbles from the heat. Okay, we're just going to begin pouring at the top up here and let everything slide down. Now I mixed up 160 ml because 200 was definitely way too much for that last mold. Oops, I just saw a chunk go in there. So I'll set this down real quick and see if I can find it. I don't know if it was mica or glitter. Oh, looks like I might be good with that. Now I can help work this up into the tips to get some of those areas pre-coated so we can get the bubbles worked out easier. And I get a horrible suspicion I'm going to end up with having to mix more resin. I think what I'll do is I'll probably just do a top on it. Or back coating, whatever you want to call it. It would be nice if they gave you the amount you're supposed to be able to use for your molds when you get them. I think I would say about 165, 170 mil would be the perfect choice to go with for this mold. As you can tell, I have no spare for the other mold, but it's already mic'd out, so I will probably make that my next mission. I'll let that fill up those areas. Scrape this off as much as I can. Alright, I'm edge to edge down here. However, the toes are not full. Let's just set this down to cure. Alright, I'll put you on pause until this cures up. See you in a little bit. Alright, so it's cured. I think the whiskers might still, yeah, they're still a little bit bendy. But lots of micro bubbles this time. So through the winter, and I could have used an extra 5 mil to finish topping this all off. So about 165 to 170 mil, yeah, is what's called for this. So let's get it out. Wow, coming out nicely. Except for when I get to the whiskers, right? Because they're still a little bit bendy. Okay. And ta-da! Wow. Not so bad. He's cute. Okay, so that's what that one looks like. So now you've seen 4 out of that series of 5. If you want to see the 5th one, just follow the link to this. I'll go ahead and remember to throw it in for you. Well, he is cool. But anyway, thank you all for sticking with me this long. thanks for watching. If you liked it, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and hitting the notification bell for being notified of future videos. To my subscribers, oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. I hit that 250 and I'm climbing. And yes, this guy, by the way, does have some parts missing because there wasn't enough resin. So, anyway, and comment down below and share. Peace out, all.